Willis. I live at 110 Bill Thomas Road, out on Chicken Plant Road, basically on the way to Moncure. I'm a lawyer. I practice in Wake County and in Chatham County. I'd like to start by saying that I fully support the resolution that's already been passed. Obviously, in any democratic society, the county commissioners cannot speak for 100% of the residents of Chatham County. They can only speak, as in any democracy, for the majority. And the majority, the clear majority, I think, as demonstrated by the people speaking in this room, support what you did and still support it. I'd also like to point out, if we're going to talk about history lessons, particularly in this month, Black History Month, that in 1850 there was a law passed called the Fugitive Slave Act. And it was a law, that those of you may remember from your history lessons, that forced all states north of the southern states to enforce the apprehension of slaves escaped to freedom. And now, 159 years later, we're talking about voluntarily agreeing to enforce federal law to deport people who are also coming to this country, basically seeking the same thing that those slaves were seeking when they were going north to freedom. And I don't think that, at least I hope that we have learned, and I think the county commissioners have already passed a resolution that demonstrates that they have learned that we shouldn't, if the federal government's going to have all these laws that engage in punitive immigration enforcement in a way that destroys families, that they can enforce their own laws. That doesn't mean that we have to locally enforce them in the circumstances which are not good for the residents of Chatham County as a whole. We're not dealing with a situation where felons running on the streets while committing crimes, basically. This is not what's being done. In Wake County, in fact, when the program was passed, there was this incident involving a felony B&E of breaking and entering at night, and the person who made the complaint was arrested because he was an undocumented immigrant. That's the kind of stuff that happens when 280C happens. And if you're going to have that kind of program in Chatham County, basically what's going to happen is you talk about lawlessness. Well, people will just, when there's the next breaking and entering at their house, they're going to carry a gun, and they're going to take care of defending themselves because they can't count on the Chatham County Sheriff's Department to enforce the law. That's what we need to have, is basically law enforcement that's fair to everybody, that doesn't take into account immigration status.